Hey you guys, Terra. I'm here, Goddess Intuition. Okay, you guys, so listen. So you guys know that I've been talking about self-love for a while, right? So what I really wanted to get into is exactly what self-love is. The kind of love that I'm talking about is found within, right? So, depending on who you are, what you've experienced, is going to give you a perception of what love is, right? So a lot of times we've gone through a lot of trauma, we've experienced, a lot of pain, hurt, suffering, right? So sometimes that can distort what we really feel or what we're really going through, right? So, I know for me, in my experience, I had to really get within to find that ultimate self-love, because it's easy for us to put on a nice wig, some cute makeup, and get in front of a camera. But it's like no one knows what we go through at nighttime, right? And so I was in a space where I'm like, okay, I know what love is, but I want to experience the love that is absolutely unconditional, if I want to say, right? Meaning that it's not anything that's bound to it. It's not attached to anything. It's just. You know what I'm saying? And so, a lot of the times we look on the outside of ourselves, our environment, the people that we're around, the kind of status that we have. We think that everything that is on the outside of us is associated with self-love, but really, it's really associated with what we think is self-love is. What we think, okay, well, it's really like validation seeking, right? Because we feel like if we have a certain status, if we have a certain figures that we're bringing in, right, that we are seen as through social media eyes, like, okay, well, that person is loved because they have a lot of followers, or that person is loved because they have this or they have that. But in reality, it's like anybody can get on social media and fake what they have, what they got. You know what I'm saying? What they've gone through. So it's really not about what's on the outside of you. It has everything to do within. And so a lot of the times, people not understanding how energy works, they're not understanding that you really have to find self-love within for you to vibrate high, right? It's not going to be no money. It's not going to be your car. It's not going to be your home. It's not going to be the people around you. It's really going to have everything to do with you and how you're raising your vibration. So, and a lot of the times, of course, that comes with trial, error, a lot of different, I want to say, low points in our lives for us to go through those dark times in order to bring us higher. And so, just from my experience, I can say that I had to really go within. I had to really get to myself and say, who are you? What is your purpose here? What kind of legacy are you trying to leave behind? And it really has a lot to do with you asking yourself those questions, because we can easily follow in our parents' footsteps. We can follow what our friends do, or what our family do, and a lot of it is just old programming. If you really want to just get into it, it's old programming. It's passed down from generation to generation, outdated, and really it's not serving us anymore. So it's like, okay, what can I do next? Because my father or my mother went to school to be a doctor. Is that what I want to do? And so we base those things around, like, okay, well, I'll have this. If I go to school and do what my mom and my dad did, then, of course I'll be accepted and loved. But it's like, really, my thing is really knowing what self-love means, is really knowing your authentic self, and whatever that may be. It could be you going outside barefoot, running in the grass, enjoying nature. It could be you standing on the corner selling balloons, whatever. It can be you just being happy. That I feel personally that love is associated with your happiness and your state of being, because um, you will have to be at a level of accepting everything that's on the outside of you, on the inside of you. It's like having gratitude, so to speak. And a lot of that comes along with really being free within your own stability, within your own self. So, I know for me, once I really got into like my spirituality and kind of learning different things and those natures, journaling was really big for me. I used to journal a long time ago and I forgot about it, of course, because we deal with a lot of, getting older and dealing with the world and society and all of this stuff. So journaling and journaling really, really has helped me a lot, because I'm able to document what I'm going through, what I'm feeling at the time. And it's really therapeutic for me. So another thing is um, again, getting to self, clearing out um, what's on the inside, you know, um, finding your truth, finding your truth in what's going on around you, right? And it could be chaos, it can be mess, just the everyday things that we deal with. And it's all about what you decide that you want to do. It's like, you have ever been around somebody or either, people, and they just like really draining. They always depressed. They always going through something. It's like, okay, it was serving you at one point because you attracted those people to you. So whether it was y'all gossiping or y'all, just being on that level of frequency with each other, it was some kind of attraction. But it's like when you're detaching and when you're trying to elevate yourself, you're going to find yourself not being around certain people. You're going to find yourself not doing what you used to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you just getting to yourself and really trying to find out what it is that you want to do. Whether it's, like I said, you can, okay, like me, I love makeup, right? So I may want to start a makeup line or something one day. Who knows? If that makes me happy, why not go for it? If it's something that I feel like I want to do, why not go for it? So you have a lot of people that will say, well, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do this and do that. That has nothing to do with me. If I made up inside myself that if that's what I want to do, then that's what I want to do. Whether you like it or not, whether you feel the need to even speak about it. And so this is why I say, you don't have to search on the outside. You don't have to spend your life just trying to make sure everyone is happy. It's all about you. And that's not selfish. A lot of the times we grew up, oh yeah, you have to be selfless. You have to do this act of love and act of kindness and all of that. Okay, well, why can't I be that for myself first? And this is how we lose ourselves, because we find ourselves trying to be this grand person for other people, but we're not being it to ourselves. Just like how it's so funny, we can take care of other people, but when it comes to us, we don't take care of ourselves the way we should. And that's not good. So it's something that when you really get to yourself and really start to break down, well, why was I taking up on these characteristics of trying to seek out love and trying to seek out what's on the outside of me? And again, when I say when we go back and we peel back those layers, that has something to, I'm sorry, that has something to do with um, our childhood, possibly, us going through different trauma. And we have to get to that in order for us to grow and prosper. We have to get to um, going within and peeling back those layers, and it's not easy. So like I said, it's more to self-love. It's a practice, it's an art. It's more to that than just putting on some nice clothes and going out and being seen. Because it's like, okay, who are you when you're not being seen? Who are you in your true essence? Are you really happy in your true essence, or are you just putting on an act? Is it just a poker face for people? And that's what you really have to ask yourself. When you by yourself, what it is that you do to yourself? When you by yourself, do you speak kind things to yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you cherish yourself in those moments? Or are you spending those times trying to seek out what everybody else is doing? Um, are you going through something and you causing yourself to have a pity party? What is it? You know what I'm saying? So it really has a lot to do with, again, getting within, finding your true state of being, finding whatever it is that you love to do. And like I always say, and I've heard other people say this as well, getting to that state of a childlike. We can all remember a time when we had so much fun as a kid and we just laughed and we didn't have any care in the world. And it's like, it's hard to kind of grasp that at first, but it's like, when you really think about it, it makes sense, because as an adult, we take up on a lot of different burdens and we deal with a lot of different things and, life and just juggling a lot. But as a child, like, it's like you're free, because um, you don't worry about the things that aren't serving you. It's like, even I can remember being a child and just just some of those moments that I shared with my friends or just within myself. Um, a little funny story. When I was younger, I used to love to get dressed up like I was going to the awards, right? Because I love to sing. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get ready to go for, get ready for these awards, honey. I'm gonna be, you know. And it was so funny because all of my favorite artists and like the people that I grew up on loving, and just like really identifying with their spirit and like the things that they had to say, I would take, y'all remember back in the day, those the books with the posters. So I would take Aaliyah, Selena, Left Eye, and I would put them on my wall and just I would like perform. It was crazy, but I would I would like perform like, okay, yeah, this is my grand stage and I'm here. But just even within those moments, it didn't make sense for anybody else. It made sense to me though. You see what I'm saying? What I was going through and what I was imagining at the time, it wasn't for anybody else to understand. It was just for me. So, and I take those moments and I say, wow, and it's like, okay, how can I get to that space? How can I get to not caring what somebody else says, not caring what other people are thinking, and just get into myself and get into my space? Well, you want to detach. As hard as it may seem, you want to detach from social media. You want to detach from certain people that you may be around, that y'all not vibrating on the same level no more. You may want to, and don't get me wrong, because if you have a great support system, if you have people around you that are supporting you and that they're understanding, who you are and what you represent, fine. But what I'm saying is, it's going to take for you to really physically detach. I'm talking about emotion. I'm talking about physical. You're going to have to get to a state like, okay, I'm here with myself. What do I have to peel back in order for me to be comfortable within here? And it has everything to do with your heart, because we can all pretend, we can all say, well, I am happy, I am love and light, but really what's on the inside of your heart is really going to determine your state of being. Whether you want to say all of these great affirmations in the morning and, you can try to give other people advice, but it's really about what are you doing to keep yourself at that level? Are you checking yourself? Are you keeping up with your self-care? Are you journaling? If that's what you like to do, are you really taking the time to be with yourself and not looking for anybody else that's on outside of you? You know, it's like you have to be pushed into this urge to want to know the truth. And the truth is really you. The truth is really on the inside of you. That's the truth. Not the six figures, not the fancy foreign car, not the mansion, And I'm not speaking in terms of not wanting to live a comfortable life. Kudos to the people that have, those luxuries. That's fabulous. But it's like, I know for me, I grew up having a decent childhood, and I never had to worry about, where my next meal was going to come from. And so I know what it's like. It's like, okay, it feels good and it's nice, but it just feels good to just go out in the sun. It feels good to just lay out in the grass. And I think a lot of times we miss those key points because we so busy trying to follow in other people's footsteps, and it's not for us to do that. So, but I'm going to further this conversation. Like I said, I'm going to continue to post, and I'm going to continue to just spread my experience and what I've, experienced so far, but it's a beautiful journey to be on, spiritual, and really get into self, and just really, internalizing that, whether it's, like I said, whatever it is that you want to do, I don't care what it is, and that's the thing. We don't detach and don't care, and just do you and be free, and don't look back. Don't look it back, and just do it. It's hard work, of course. It's hard work to get to yourself and to, go back to those moments where we was probably embarrassed in our childhood, or we was, ashamed to have different uniqueness about ourselves. It was like, even I can say, like, when I look back on it, like, wow, I was really dope. Like, I knew I was dope, but again, dealing with the external and not really the internal. So as long as you know that you are this beautiful person, this bomb person that just have all of this beautiful talent and gifts and aspirations and just being, and you really having that love and it's coming from an authentic place, that's all you need. That's all you need. So again, my name is Terra M, Goddess Intuition, and I am going to be getting back with you guys, okay? And y'all make sure y'all go check out my makeup, because I do makeup, y'all. No. Okay. Bye-bye.